SmackDown was a nice tease for what we got at Clash of the Castle, right? They're in Glasgow. You can hear the crowd. You could see how much they were invested in it. There was also a big soccer match going on, football, if you will. And Skylar wasn't doing so well. And the crowd, from what I gathered and heard, was reacting to that score throughout the show. Tough night for Carmelo Hayes, again. But my Spidey sense, my wrestling Spidey sense went up when Randy Orton, who was not announced for SmackDown, who was not announced for Clash of the Castle, popped up to make the save for KO. Why is Randy there? Randy's really just there. They flew Randy Orton over there just to help out KO, just for a nice surprise on SmackDown. I knew there was something to that, and there was. We'll get to that in a little bit here. But the crowd is great. It can cover up a lot. And believe me, and I'll say this for the first time in a while, it did cover up a lot. It covered up what we know to be, at least in my opinion, a less than exciting overall SmackDown product right now. They were with it because they were thirsty for something. They don't go there that often. It's a big reason why those crowd reactions are what they are. But I do appreciate that these international crowds don't sit on their hands. They're up. They're getting excited. I understand it. It's almost like some of these crowds that get 3-4 shows a year, whether they be Raw, SmackDowns, PLEs, whatever it may be, they almost take them for granted. We don't get anywhere near, and I say this as someone who lives in the United States, lives in Connecticut, those crowd reactions just don't happen. And I know there is something special to the European crowds, and when you go to a soccer match or anything like that, you know, that's what they do. That's what they live for. But I also just, I don't know, it feels like if it's a expensive ticket, they're going to go out there and go, we're going to have a hell of a time and get our money's worth. So it's great to see these crowds. It adds to shows. I don't think Backlash was a bad show. I think the crowd added to it. SmackDown was an okay show on Friday night. And I would say that Clash of the Castle was like a B at best. It was probably more of a B minus. But atmosphere can cover up a lot. Now, they did it. The show went from a match order exactly as I thought. They opened with Cody and AJ. Not typical you're going to open any show with an I Quit match, especially not for the WWE Championship. But because of where they were, but because it was 5 matches, and because you had the hometown hero, the home country hero, Drew McIntyre in the main event, it made sense. Cody gets the big pop. AJ, surprisingly, it's like they played along. It's like they knew AJ was a heel. I think there was respect for AJ. You saw it at the press conference on Friday, whatever they call it now. Is that the countdown? Is that the kickoff now? The pressers are the kickoff. The pressers, they're the day before the shows are kickoffs, and then right before the show, it's a countdown. My goodness, by the way, do we need 2 hours of a countdown show before a show that doesn't go 3 hours that had 5 matches on it? Credit to those that had to make that work. And you know, do we need to work Cole that much? Does he have to call a 3-hour show and host the first hour when you already have Jackie there to take over it's just, there's certain people that they clearly trust on that broadcast team to handle things, and certain people that they clearly don't trust. But I don't think we need 2 hours for a 3-hour show. I get like College Game Day and all that being multiple hours, or NFL Countdown. There's a bunch of games going on after that. They're previewing more than just what's coming up next. 2 hours should be saved for SummerSlam, for WrestleMania, for the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series if it's big enough. That's a lot to ask. Hey, sit down for 5 hours of this. I like that the show is 3 hours long. I like that they're not doing matches for the sake of matches. They could have thrown on DIY against Grayson and Theory on this show. They didn't. They probably could have figured out something with Braun getting thrown to something with Judgment Day. They didn't. They're not there yet with Liv and Zelina, so they didn't put it on the show. So the 5 matches got time, just like the matches at Backlash got time, just like the matches in Saudi got time. They're not overloading a card just for the sake of it. And that's a good thing. So they open with Cody and AJ. And Cody, or now as he's now known as, Talent Name. If I'm going to call AEW out for awful, egregious production errors, I'm going to call WWE out. They screwed up on Friday, and I guess it got edited out of the American broadcast because I watched an earlier broadcast. Piper and Daivari and Chelsea get caught on screen before they were supposed to get shown. So that was an error. And then the WWE champion is now known as Talent Name. It happens. But if I'm going to call it AEW, I'm going to call it WWE. That was egregious. I just don't understand how that happens. So they have what you expect from those two. Cody gets beaten down a lot. No, I'm not going to quit. And then AJ goes and is talking trash to Cody's mom. And obviously, she's part of the Nightmare family. She's been part of multiple matches now. No issue with that. She gets 3 slaps in on AJ. AJ gets back in the ring. Obviously, Cody was dealing with the handcuffs, all that stuff. And Cody goes to work. Chair. He's going to smash AJ in the corner. AJ says, I quit. Very similar to the Christian Cage, Adam Copeland finish for the TNT title a few months ago. But it makes sense. I think something else just crashed from that match. Live set here, folks. Fine. But the match is done. Cody's won. He's still holding the stairs. He looks over at his mom, and it's like he's trying to like get her attention, like, should he do this? And then she just cracks AJ after the match is over. Felt very Cena to me in a bad way, where Cena would do that stuff. Well, he's already there. I might as well smash him even though I'm the babyface. He already said I quit. The match is over. Did that feud get that personal? If AJ had done stuff to Cody's mom and made it way more personal before this, sure. Then I get, you know what? AJ needs to be taught a lesson. It never got that deep. He did the retirement angle and all that. It was just to get him a title. But this wasn't some angry blood feud. By the way, what was on Cody's face? I don't know what they were going for there because it just went away. If you need to fake it and it doesn't look good, don't do it. I thought the match was fine. I didn't like what happened after because I don't think Cody should be pushed to that level yet, because then what they did was more important. And here's where Randy Orton comes back in. Cody's up in the aisle celebrating. Solo stands next to him. And Cody sees him, and then he gets attacked. And it's 3-on-1. And the bloodline's all over Cody. And here comes KO, and here comes Randy. And they make the save. And Randy gets a little look at that title. And there, folks, while there have been a couple interactions with Cody and Randy, there was the first step of getting Cody and Randy close to each other. And by getting Cody and Randy close to each other now, I think it's, to me, easy to point to the idea of Cody, Randy, and KO against the Bloodline at Money in the Bank. It's only 3 weeks away. There's no reason to force another Cody title defense. This is not necessary. Save it. Now, how do you get to Cody and Randy? Does Randy turn in the match? You do have KO there, so there is that caveat to it. Do you have them win and Randy take a little look at Cody's title? And then on the SmackDown after, when Cody goes, listen, thanks for having my back. KO, Randy, you got to get Cody and Randy alone. That is the thing with KO being involved. You got to get Cody and Randy alone. And when that happens, Cody needs to get dropped. Cody needs to get wrecked by Randy Orton. Think about how Edge and Randy did it the night after Royal Rumble 2020. Edge threw him out of the Rumble. Okay, all's fair. Every man for himself. Randy concertos him. Edge takes time out. He went after Beth. All that. It's got to get that deep. I want the worst, meanest, heelest version of Randy Orton we can get to take on Cody. And I'd have no problem with Randy beating Cody for the title at SummerSlam. That's what I think Cody needs to be tested in a way he hasn't been tested yet. And who better to do that than Randy Orton? That's why I didn't like Cody using the stairs already. They should have just put a ref in between them. And that is something that Randy could have pointed out. You don't have it. You don't have that killer instinct in you. But you're going to need it against me. There could be a moment at Money in the Bank if they do the 6-man where Kevin leaves the ring and Randy sees the title on the ground and he goes to hand it to Cody. And as he does, he yanks the title in and hits him with an RKO. And off we're going. The idea, though, should be that Randy has and knew he could get close to Cody because he's one step ahead. He could say, yeah, your dad might have taught you a lot, but I taught you a lot too. But I didn't teach you everything. And the naivety of Cody, which we have seen on display, getting faked out by AJ's retirement, the contract with Logan Paul, the afterglow of winning and finally vanquishing Roman Reigns and sending him away. It's just like Shawn Michaels and Mankind at In Your House Mind Games in 96. Shawn needed to be toughened up. He needed to be hardened. And going somewhere different, having a very different kind of match with Mankind, made that work for him. I think Cody needs that now. And I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. I'm just saying it's the evolution of the title reign. To me, Randy would be his first legitimate challenge to that championship. Didn't think AJ was winning either match. Didn't think Logan Paul was winning either match. Nobody else did either. But Randy Orton, super heel Randy Orton, at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes, very believable to see Randy walk out with the WWE Championship on that night. Not to say he would keep it forever. Not to say he would even keep it for a long time. Cody would get that title back, maybe by Survivor Series. There's okay to have him chase a little bit. But I think SmackDown needs that right now. I think the Bloodline will become fodder for this. At least that's what I think they should do. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the wrestling mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody over the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.